You know, and we all have our 15 minutes of fame, and I'd like to take a couple of my 15 minutes to talk about the rights and the wrongs in the world of professional wrestling.
And it is for the WWE Championship.
This match is for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship.
The World Heavyweight Championship.
The match and new NWA Heavyweight Champion of the world.
We appreciate you guys coming out and taking your time to support women's wrestling in America.
This match is for the AWA World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship.
This is what we've all been waiting for, the WOW Championship of the World title match. And here we have the reigning champion, the fabulous Lana Star, and her assistant, Kitty.
We're back for the WOW Review, Episode 9. That's 9 down and 2 more to go. They are almost done with releasing the long-awaited episodes of WOW. This is Mr. Green, of course, from the Women's Pro Wrestling Network. How are you? And thank you for coming back for another review. I guess this is kind of what makes WOW halfway interesting for some people. And I know some people really enjoy the stuff, so let me not say that. Anyway, going in episode 9, and of course we also have bonus content that they released. So let's get to it. First, I have to apologize for being off of the regular schedule. I did say in the last release that I got a bit sick, so having some difficulty talking. But that's neither here nor there. So anyway, we are going to go with episode 9 and bonus content number 18, Beat the Beast. Of course, the rhythm of the bonus content that they've been doing at this point is they start to prepare you for whatever it is that's coming up next. So we'll get into the actual match, and it was an actual match this time. Last week they didn't have a match, so I really in good conscience couldn't tell anybody to go out their way to try to watch that because it was nothing there. But this week you have a match, so if you are wanting to see their first big championship match take place, this is the week for you to do it. So let's get with the bonus content. Beat the Beast. The Beat the Beast is the promo for Tatevik the Gamer and Jungle Girl, which of course is basically setting up for the upcoming match that the two of them have around the corner, which will be taking place next week or the next release of their videos. And essentially Tatevik is talking about her history in training for kickboxing and her Armenian heritage. Which is a good, good little sit down interview. I didn't particularly care for the background and all that stuff that they had going on behind her. I guess they were trying to give her some sort of video game-ish type of feel. But everybody else that's been having these promos and these interviews have been in a real world setting. Like, Jungle Girl might have been outside. And I think one time she was in either a hotel room or an apartment. Same thing with Lana Star and Frost. She was in the gym, and everybody else is in there. Tatevik was quite clearly in front of some green screen, and they were running like the Matrix drop in the background or something like that. So it didn't scream something great for me, but I guess it's not for me to like. Just giving my particular commentary on that. Jungle Girl is also within this promo, as stated earlier, and she's basically saying that she is going to take Tatevik down. Jungle Girl has established herself in the few times that we've seen her here. Essentially, she should be a heel, but she's, in essence, liked by the fans. So she is in a straight heel. Maybe we'll call her a tweener. So, and Jungle Girl has been fantastic in the times that I've seen her wrestle. Probably the best match that I've seen so far with her and O'Neal, Amber Gallows. That's probably been the best one that WoW has produced yet. But we got a few more to go. Tatevik also within the course of this promo says that this win, because she's looking to win, It's going to be bittersweet because she was a fan of Jungle Girl in the original WoW, but she's going to have to beat her anyway. So this essentially is a babyface versus babyface match. I know Jungle Girl comes off and she presents like or at least tries to present like a heel, but she more or less is babyface. You know, she hasn't done anything to really be heel. She hasn't cheated, exceptionally. She hasn't really dragged her opponents through the mud or nothing like that. She's just, the out and out straightforward ass kicker. I'm going to do what I have to do to win so I can move on. Without them actually saying it, it feels like they are giving you a tournament. Now that we're getting towards the end of all of these videos and we've seen things kind of shape and form and whatnot, it feels like they're giving you a tournament because you got the two winners of the previous matches. You got Tatevik, who won over Santana Garrett. You got Jungle Girl, who won over Amber O'Neal on the video. And now it's their turn to fight. And they've been hinting at whoever wins this is going to go on and they'll be able to challenge the champion. So in all essence, it feels like a tournament to determine your new number one contender. And if they had really added some extra graphics or something like that, it would have been easy to say, oh, this is this tournament for the number one contendership. And, we wrestle who we wrestle. They didn't do that. I mean, hindsight's 2020. I would have done it. But again, that's hindsight. So we will move on. That is the bonus content that they released this week. They didn't release 3 or 4 of them like they did last time. So it was just that and the actual match. And the actual match of Season 2, Episode 9 is Winning the Lotto. As you know from the last one, the reference of winning the lotto is Spike, who some of you out there will probably better know as Hudson Envy, has kind of secured herself a championship match against WoW's resident, long-standing world's champion, Lana Starr. And the video starts off with a recap as Lana Starr and Kitty enter the ring. Lana's asking her, why do I have to wrestle with some nobody that came out the blue? And they give you the video recap of everything that's happening. And it is their effort with this to try to make it come across as this took place weeks ago. Of course, it didn't take weeks apart. It wasn't taped weeks apart in the taping, and it certainly wasn't aired weeks apart in the video. So I might have been one to try to edit that portion out. That's just me. But in any case, we now know that it's Spike who is new to WoW, and they reinforce that fact that she's getting the title shot that she deserves. And, quote, weeks have gone by. They have learned a little bit more about her, but not much. And this is the opportunity of a lifetime. So when Spike is getting introduced, she runs out the ringside. Thug is accompanying her. But Spike runs out the ringside and attacks Kitty and Lana before the bell even rings. They get out of the ring, run across, and then Thug attacks him and then sends it back in. Which I guess there's nothing wrong with that, I suppose. It depends on how you like your baby faces. But I thought it was a little aggressive for the baby face in this match. I thought she would do those things once Lana has really become a jerk within the course of the match, which she just doesn't do. I mean, she's an arrogant prick of a woman, but she hasn't really cheated and hasn't really done anything overly heelish. But we'll go for it. But we'll say that's what Kitty's there for, and I'll discuss that later. So we got Kitty in the corner of Lana Starr. We got Thug in the corner of Spike. And early in the match, Lana's running around trying to get away from him, keeps ducking out. Every time Spike tries to lock up with her, she sticks her head through the ropes. She does it one too many times when she sticks her head through the ropes and she starts talking to Kitty, and then Spike charges her, gives her a drop kick in the back, and shoots Lana out, which basically hits Kitty in the head with her foot. I'm sure that was accidental. But that was the start of the match. Both ladies, once Lana get back in, however, both ladies kind of jockey for position, yanking each other's hair, pulling, going back and forth into the turnbuckles. The match itself is pretty moderate. It is not a normal WoW match, not like I was saying earlier with the Lana Star versus Sunshine. Now that was a WoW match, but being that Spike is a little bit more trained on the indie circuit, she put in some work in this match, which basically got Lana to put in work on her end, and you have to give her some credit there. I know that Lana Star, Lana Kinnear, her real name, isn't a out and out pro wrestler, but being in a ring with a legitimate wrestler made her have to up her game. Now the match didn't go any faster. Like I said, it was a pretty moderate match. But this is probably the best match that you have gotten out of Lana Star, period. We're talking from the original series of WoW right up until now. This is probably the best match that she's gotten, and that came out of working somebody who was better than her. All due respect to her, and I don't say that as an insult, but she was working somebody that was better than her. Hudson Envy is a trained pro wrestler, and in order for Lana Star to keep up in that, she had to bring it. So, but anyway, there's a point in the match where Lana gets a pin on Thug. She catches her in the sunset flip, and not Thug, Spike. Gets the pin on Spike, and Thug is distracting the referee from the count. Now, yeah, I understand that, she's supposed to do that or try to help her out, but that is a heel thing to do, and I didn't get it. I didn't understand why Thug was jumping up on the apron and saying, "Hey, look at me, what are you counting for?" and all that stuff, because it seemed like it was switching the roles, like Lana was the babyface and Spike was the heel. Having your manager, for lack of a better term, interfere in a match on your behalf, and you not being able to win on your own accord comes off as a heel thing to do. That's what we expect out of the bad guys. To say nothing of the fact that Lana performs a babyface spot immediately following that. She grabs Spike in a headlock, charges over to Thug, gives her a drop kick off of the apron, and springboards into like a Stratisfaction Bulldog headlock, and drops them both in like one smooth move. She actually did it very well. So I didn't necessarily get that. I thought if anything, it should have been in reverse. I thought Kitty should have been the one that was cheating more. She should have jumped up on the apron. The spot should have been reversed. It should have had Kitty do more stuff. Not that she didn't do things. I mean, she pulled Lana out of the ring to save her from a pinfall. She, jumped up and interfered. She grabbed Spike's leg. But I thought all of the dirty trick should come from her side. Kitty did her job as a second outside that ring. So you have to give her credit for that, especially in the world today where valets and managers are kind of, few and far between. They're scarce. I thought the Kitty character is annoying, but she did her job. WoW is still selling Lana as this long reigning champion. I've said it before in these videos. I don't really get that either. This whole concept that Lana's the longest reigning wrestling champion, period. She's held the title since 2002, when she probably has all of 3 matches underneath her belt as the champion. Over a decade worth of time. So, and I just, the idea that they're trying to sell it to the fans like, oh, we never went away, you just never saw her matches, is absurd. But it's their product to sell, so we'll move on from that. Towards the end of the match, Doug is helping Spike get up because, Lana and Spike have had this long, drawn-out battle, which, by the way, this is the longest match to date that WoW has put out there. All other matches have been roughly between 4 minutes or 4.5, 5 when it's really pushing. But this match went like 9 minutes, which for WoW is really long. The video itself is 14 minutes, so that should tell you something. But yeah, it was a lengthy match, and they had their back and forth. Um, at some point, Spike is kind of hurt, and she goes to the outside. Thug helps her get up, and then Lana comes out when they walk towards the announcing table. She comes to the ropes and jumps off the apron, grabbing both of their heads and slamming them down onto the tables, knocking Spike out and hurting Thug. Lana gets back in, and in order to keep Spike from getting counted out, Thug grabs Spike off the floor and rolls her into the ring. Once she does that, then she decides to get into the ring herself. We won't question that, but she's stopped by the referee. The referee is arguing with us, saying you can't get in there, you can't do anything. Assumably, Thug wants to get in and attack Lana Star for hitting her in the head. I know I'm providing the explanation. They never said that in the video, so I'm making one up. So she's trying to get into the ring, and she's trying to get her hands on Lana Star. The referee stops her. Then Lana sees those two arguing at the ropes, charges in with a drop kick, which hits Thug. That makes Thug hit the ref, and then it knocks the ref off the apron through the table. So that's your big, oh wow spot of the match, and it's performed by the referee, which is the same thing that they did in WoW Season 1. Anytime somebody did anything big, or I got to go through a table, or I got to take a big bump, or something like that, it was always the refs that did it without fail, and that formula has not changed. So he goes through the table, he's knocked out. This, of course, is when Spike gets the upper hand on Lana because there's no referee in the ring. She catches Lana and I would have said a three amigos, but we're gonna call it a two. Those chain suplexes that Eddie Guerrero used to do. Well, Spike does two of them. She catches Lana once, hits her again, then she goes for the cover, has her down. Then Kitty comes in again. Remember, no referee. He's knocked out. Thug's over there trying to, get him up, and so are the other officials and announcers and whatnot. But Kitty comes in as Spike has Lana down for the count and hits her over the back of the head with her mirror, knocking Spike out. And then she shoots out of the ring. Thug sees that because not only did Kitty shoot out of the ring, sorry, I forgot to say she puts Lana on top of Spike. Thug sees that, she goes to the ring. Now it's her turn to do the cheat. So she picks Lana Star up, body slams her into the corner. She goes in for her last call move, which is essentially a splash out of the corner, like the old Vader bomb, like he used to do. And she nails Lana, and now Lana's really out. And she pulls Spike back over top of Lana. The referee, or a new referee, charges down the ringside, and he counts the 3 count because the original ref wasn't up. Although once Thug did the last call, she goes to the outside and picks the referee up and shoves him onto the apron. Looks like he's waking up for a second, then he passes right back out. He can't take it. He's in so much pain. So he fades away, and that's when the other referee comes out. He charges from the back, slides into the ring, and now he gets his 3 count in. 1, 2, 3. Spike is announced as the champion and awarded the belt. Dave McClain comes in with the championship belt, and for about 30 seconds or so, they're like, all right, we got a new champion, and wow, I can't believe it. She's beaten the longest reigning champion of, ever, Lana Star, blah, blah, blah. So that is what begins until the original ref wakes up and overturns the decision that was made. Because he was hit by Thug, he DQ'd Spike because of what Thug did. She was in her corner, so Spike, you're responsible. I'm disqualifying you, and the match goes to Lana Star, and she's still the champion. So that was it. It was the longest match that WoW has produced yet. Lana's biggest championship match, not her only, because she had her squash match earlier with Sunshine, but it's the biggest championship match that she had, and so, not surprisingly, she won. She retained the championship. Although be it in a heelish fashion, she won through DQ and by luck, but she won. The grade, I give it a B. I think it was a nice match. It was entertaining to look at. It wasn't what I would want out of a championship match. I think I've gotten a little bit spoiled that when I see the titles on the line, I'm expecting 15, 20 minutes of hard chain wrestling and all that stuff. But I knew going into this that, I cannot possibly expect any of those things to happen here. Nothing against them, but I know that that's just not their forte. That's not what WoW does. They are about producing television, and that's what they did. They produced television, although it didn't go to television, but they produced television. The production on it is going to be a C because of the same issue that I have gone on with about them before, in that the match requires sound sweetener. It doesn't seem like the crowd is all that into it. Even if they are, they've drowned them out with their replacement crowd noise, so you can't really tell. And then they have the same looping sound when anybody gets a big move. You can hear it as plain as day. If there's a body slam that takes place, you can hear it. A suplex that takes place, you can hear it. As long as it's out of that ring and there's impact, you can hear it. It's that same loop noise. But again, that's kind of the editor in me nitpicking. I know that everybody's not going to pay attention to those things, especially them. But I get on the WoW about that because they've had since 2013 to fix that. Since 2013 to take the time to make sure that the video is correct, or get the audio in, or take the audio out, whatever. They had time to do it. But anyway, it's a solid B for me, this match. If you got time, I would say drop by the WoW website, WOWE.com, and you can see that and all of the matches they have preceding this. It should be entertaining, especially for you now. If you're just getting kind of tuned into this, it would be cool for you now because you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for all these releases to come out. You can just kind of browse through and binge watch. You can binge watch nearly every episode that they have right up until the last two. They've only got 2 more to go. And yes, I know I said episodes. They're very much in the vein of what we do here on the Women's Pro Wrestling Network, the WPN. If you've gone to our YouTube channel, then you know how our episodes go. It's opening. We piece it together so that the episode essentially is a match. And this is what they did here. They got their episode, and essentially it's a match, with the exception of that last week. I'm not saying they took it from me. I'm just saying. So that's it, folks. It is Winning the Lotto, episode 9 of the WoW episode review. And like I said, the bonus content of Beat the Beast. Nice promo. Very easy view. If you don't look at anything, that the promos that they have in it is a very easy watch. Not all that long. The title match is a little bit long, but if you're a fan of women wrestling, and I'm pretty sure that you are if you're listening to this now, you should go check it out, and for no other reason than see the biggest WoW Championship match that they've had. And I would almost say ever, but this is certainly the biggest. So that is it for this episode. Be sure to check us out on Facebook by scanning Women's Pro Wrestling Network. Check us out online on our website, WPNWrestling.com. You can find that easily. You can also go on to our YouTube channel. Let's see, I almost lost it there. Go on our YouTube channel by scanning out Women's Pro Wrestling Network, and that's very easy. You do that, we'll be the first things that pop up, and you'll be able to get podcasts, interviews, matches, and more if you go on there. So if WoW isn't necessarily your taste, and you are more bound and determined to see some more hardcore, if you will, for lack of a better term, wrestling from the ladies, then you have got the right place. All you got to do is follow the social media links. All roads lead to our YouTube channel. And that's it. So until the next review, which is 7 days from now. So until our next review, I want you to take it easy. Make sure that if you haven't shown your support, show your support. We appreciate everything that you do. And we will be seeing you guys next week. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the WPN's Rights and Wrongs of Pro Wrestling. If you have questions or comments, please contact us via our Facebook or our YouTube channel at the Women's Pro Wrestling Network. If you're new to the WPN, feel free to subscribe to our channel and like our page. We appreciate your support. Thank you again for listening.